10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us on another edition of Dark Fringe Radio. I am your host, Will Martinez, and of course, Jake Alosi here with me. And we have a very special episode for you guys tonight. And of course, thanks for joining in on Dark Fringe Radio, your premier source for the paranormal, conspiracy theory, and true crime. So tonight, Jay, we have a pretty interesting conversation. We're going to be talking about the back rooms. And this is kind of like a creepy pasta thing that kind of came out back in a couple of decades ago, but interesting theory, and we're going to be talking about that and how it could maybe be true or maybe not. You know what I mean? It's a lot of theories that are involved in this back room thing. So we're going to be talking about that all and a lot more here in a second. But before we get into all that and that, Jay, want to remind everybody how they can listen to the podcast. And Jay, if you could let everybody know how can they listen to this wonderful podcast that we produce on a weekly or semi-weekly
Don't hurt
basis.
yourself. Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to go too far on that one, but yeah.
Don't hurt yourself.
How can they get their healthy helping of this this podcast?
Well, William, I'm glad you asked me with such a succinct and short way of doing it.
Yeah.
So the way you can find us, friends, the way you can get our podcast is you can get anywhere you get your podcast. You can go to iTunes, you can go to Stitcher, you can go to Spotify, you can go anywhere, you can go Google Play. But the best place, really the truest place to get it, that most premium is to go directly to the source. Go to darkfringeradio.com. That's where you get it all. That's where you see the videos. You got episodes. You got old school stuff. You got me being harassed by the cops. You got us talking about UFOs. You got us talking about Conor McGregor way back in the day. You have us talking about AI before AI was AI.
Yes.
You can get merch. You can see all kinds of stuff, and you get it right there at darkfringeradio.com.
There you go. There you go. Jay, that's best way I could basically put that. Darkfringeradio.com. That's your premier source for everything for this podcast. And just go there. Make sure you check us all out. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel, please. And make sure you like and subscribe to all that stuff there, please. It helps us out tremendously. Doesn't cost you a damn thing. Just like and subscribe. That's all we ask for. And then also our TikTok. That's something new too, Jay. We're putting out reels there on a weekly basis. So check us out there on, for real, on TikTok. So we're actually getting some good traction there too. Some of our videos are like 500, 700 views. But one in particular post here, Jay, that I wanted to mention. And I wanted to thank all of you guys very, very, very much from the bottom of my heart, is one of our latest posts that we did on St. Patty's Day. And it was interestingly enough here, Jay, that we had this post, and I wasn't thinking anything of it. I was like, you know what? It's St. Patty's Day. Obviously,
it's just a day for the little people.
Exactly. I was like, you know what? It's perfectly in time for it and all that stuff. It's everybody's talking about it. So I posted this video, Jay, and it went absolutely fucking bananas. And I wanted to show just an example of how bananas this thing went. Because when I initially posted this, I really had no idea like this was going to do this. I was like, I was innocently enough. I was like, you know what? Whatever, right? This thing is just going to be whatever. Just a cool thing that everybody's going to know about St. Patty's Day. Da 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 da. I laugh. Ha 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 ha. Right? Yeah, no, it went fucking pretty viral here. So let me see if I could share this here real quick here. And let's see here. So you can see this here, Jay, right?
I can.
So this video right here reached over 1.6 right here. You can see it. 1.6 million people. And I mean,
local in the cabeza.
It's crazy. It is crazy. And you know what? I thank you guys for sharing and doing all that stuff, commenting. That's what it's all about. And that's what really gets us pushed up in the algorithm on Facebook. So thank you guys so much. I really, 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 really appreciate it. So wanted to mention that. So before we get on with the podcast, but Jay, let's get ready for some Dark Fringe News. Are you ready
Dark
for some
Fringe
Dark
News?
Fringe News? Yeah, man. You
Oh,
ready?
yeah.
All right, let's do it.
For 15 years, I've been trying to teach you how to write a lead. Do I have to do everything myself? Get the story, write the story?
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
I was looking at the James Brown wig.
Fucking thing sucks!
Is there
That's your kind of thing where you
an intro, right?
yourself.
Sometimes,
The
yeah.
story?
I can.
I do it all myself. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Confucius say, I do not think the story had much validity.
Is that coming in post?
Oh, that's coming in post, bro. Listen, imagine us back in like fucking TV production. And we would have said that shit. This fucking thing sucks, right?
Oh, we got in so
we
much
would have got
trouble.
it. Oh, bro, we would have been sent to the office fucking immediately.
He used to yell at me every time I cleaned the windows because I didn't clean them right.
Oh my gosh. Stop it. No, it was crazy, man. I mean, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But
Those are the days.
those are the days. So Jay, tonight I wanted to bring up a very interesting development in the paranormal world. And I'm not sure if you know this or not, Jay, but because I know you're not into that and stuff like that. You don't keep your ear to that side of things at all. And that's my job.
I
That's
don't
what I do.
have to. It
Yeah,
tends
that's what I
to
do.
keep it clear to me.
Right, that too, right? So, nevertheless, in the world of paranormal entertainment, I should say, everybody knows the show Ghost Adventures, right? It's been
Yes.
around for like 15
Ever.
years. Yeah, it's 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
You had the three main guys, Zach Bagans, you had Nick Roth, and Aaron Goodwin. And just recently, there was a story that came out, Jay, that was just unfucking believable. And it's one of these stories where you're like, holy shit, you would think that this only happens to like maybe people like, I don't know, that you wouldn't even think this would happen really in the first place. But long story short, let me get to the story here and not let me bury the lead. Ghost Adventure star Aaron Goodwin's wife is convicted. She was contacting a convicted murderer who massacred his family and texted how much they are in love together, and then she put a fucking hit out for his murder. Can you fucking believe this, Jay? This guy, poor guy, Aaron Goodwin. This guy is probably one of the like, he's like the most one of those innocent people that you could see on TV. Very rarely does he get out of pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's one of those kind of like
Nice
guys
guy.
you could, yeah, nice guy. You could tell who he is just from seeing him on TV. You're not going to get it. You know what you see when you get with him, right? On TV.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Oh,
this guy married this woman who was plotting to kill him, Jay. Plotting to kill him.
I mean, isn't that what most wives do? I mean, I know I'm
Stop it, Jay.
I'm on my second go around. Right?
Hey. But let's get to the story here, Jay. So police claimed that Victoria Goodwin, which is Aaron Goodwin's wife, plotted to kill her husband, the host of the reality series Ghost Adventures, after falling in love with a convicted murderer. Goodwin is accused, that's the woman, of hiring a hitman to kill her husband, Aaron, with the help of a convicted murderer, Grant Amato, according to her arrest report from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Goodwin began to text Amato in March of 2024 after seeing him on a docuseries called Control, Alternate, and Desire, per the report. The docuseries described how Amato stole $200,000 from his family and later murdered his mother, father, and brother, Jay. The pair also exchanged messages discussing how much they're in love. And according to the report, Goodwin also says that in those texts that her husband would not accept a divorce. And it goes on to say, Jay, that in one of the exchanges that included the report of Goodwin asking if she's a bad person, Jay, when he asked why she feels that way, and she responds, because I chose to end his existence and not a divorce. So
You're a bad
right
person.
there, yeah, right there, like bad person, right?
Easily answered.
So
Yes.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Emphatically,
Very
yes.
reaching out to convicted murderers.
Which I don't understand, Jay. Like, what the fuck is up with that? Like, what these people and they want it like.
I heard a story recently about a corrections officer who
Yeah.
was fired and brought up charges. And I actually think she's going through the trial process because she was filming pornography with an actual inmate in an actual cell of an actual jail with his actual roomie filming it. And it got out, and her husband saw it.
That's fucking crazy.
Awful. People are fucking terrible, man.
Wow. That's horrible. Well, Jay, the texts were discovered after the corrections officers confiscated Amato's phone and sent it into the Florida's Department of Corrections, says the report. The authorities in Florida then notified Las Vegas Metropolitan Police about the alleged plot by Goodwin to kill her husband, prompting them to arrest her earlier this month on charges of soliciting to commit murder and conspiring to commit murder.
Them Florida women, man.
Woo.
Hey! I do the Florida man. What the hell?
Well, she's not Florida. She's Las Vegas. So,
Okay.
after learning of the plot, Jay, of course, this doesn't take a fucking genius to figure out, but Aaron filed for divorce.
I guess he was
man.
okay with divorce then, huh?
Yeah. He's okay with it. Trust me. Yeah, he's all right.
I bet he is now.
Yeah. Goodwin did not deny messaging Amato when questioned by police, according to the report, which notes that she felt lonely and was experiencing problems in her marriage.
Sure.
So she denied wanting her husband dead. However, and she said that she could not recall sending messages about hiring a hitman, of course. So just, yeah. All right, sure. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department ultimately made the decision to arrest and charge Goodwin because of the messages she sent to Amato about her husband's murder. It included payment, plans, location, anticipation, and nothing done to stop the plan once in motion. So,
I mean, that's a little more than a joke, isn't it?
yeah. They talked about the price. They talked about when.
I mean, when there's details, right?
Yeah.
Once you start getting details involved,
it's not like a hypothetical. Oh yeah, Jay, you want to come over and kill somebody real quick with me? Yeah, sure. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
It goes from, geez, I wish you'd kill my husband. We the defendant's fine. You know what I mean? So yeah. Not a good person. Answers that question right there. She is not a good person.
Yeah. Well, Jay, yeah, that's unfortunately a interesting story that it's coming out of the paranormal world. I mean, gosh dang, this guy's going around. Yeah, it's sad. It's super sad because you know what? You get these people that are just leeches. You know what I mean? It's just like, that they were in it for just the money. You know what I mean? It was just about the money and the whole thing. Because if it was anything about anything else, this would never even have been an issue, right? But and then on top of that, being so fucking greedy on top of it, you're already the guy's wife. He's going to take care of you, obviously, right? You're going on vacations, you're doing this and that. He's a millionaire. Like, he's taking care of you, I'm sure. Like, how much more greedier do you have to fucking be at the end of the day? You got to fucking off this guy so that way you have everything?
I mean, it's the crazy world out there. Israel Adesanya's ex-girlfriend is trying to get half of what he's worth.
Did you see what happened? No, but did you see what happened? The judge ruled that she had to give him $500,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, fuck you. It's like the judge's like, no. We're not doing this today. He's like, no, you're going to give him $500,000. And that's how it's going to be. What the fuck is wrong with people, Jay?
Bro, people are
It's
dumb.
all about the money.
It's all about the money.
It's so scary.
It's
so
not
scary.
even like hidden anymore. Like, that's what's scary about it.
And it's like, Jay, like, when you, like, I don't know, like, all of a sudden become famous and, like, you get money like that, it's like, do you really venture out and try to find somebody else that whatever makes you happy? And, or do you stay with the person that you've been with before all the fucking fame or, hit and it wasn't about the money and all that bullshit? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, it's like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. It's not worth it at all.
I agree.
Yeah. It's so crazy. It's so nuts, man. But anyways, yeah, again, very crazy story coming out of the paranormal field. We give our full support to Aaron Goodwin, we hope, and we make sure that that he is seeking all the probably, I would say, maybe mental help that he would probably need for something like this. I mean, I think
hope
he
there's
would
some
need that.
counseling and therapy going on.
Counseling, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
for sure.
I hope so. So,
Yeah.
and I heard all the guys from the crew, from the Ghost Adventures crew, are very supportive of him, and I'm glad that they're doing that. And we do the same here too. So we just say, hey, listen, we hope the best for you, Aaron, and get yourself up, buddy. And yeah, don't let this shit hold you down. So let's get going. But
Yeah.
all right, so that's a good close for Dark Fringe News, Jay. Which brings us to our next segment, which is What the F, Florida Man. You ready for some What the F, Florida Man?
I am ready for some What the F, Florida Man.
All right, let's see if we could conjure up some What the F, Florida Man here, Jay.
Florida man.
A Florida man. A Florida man.
A Florida man.
Now to the town of Seffner, Florida, near Tampa, where last night the earth opened up, as it does increasingly, and this time it swallowed a 37-year-old man as he slept in his home.
A man accused of destroying a liquor store in Okaloosa County told police he was in Alice in
I don't care about this liquor. I want that weed.
Wonderland. Matthew Horace Jones also said a caterpillar smoking a hookah told him to do it.
See, I told you it was the hookah, right, Jay?
Always the hookah.
It's always the hookah.
Man calls 911 while Collier County Sheriff's deputies are chasing him, and he says Donald Trump, our president, is his personal friend, a close one at that.
A Lake Worth man is not too happy. He's accused of getting violent when waiters at a restaurant told him they weren't giving away free pizza.
Covering Florida this morning, a Key West man is behind bars. Investigators say he was caught with a large amount of cocaine hidden in this Cookie Monster doll.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, well, that's kind of prophetic right there, Jay. Well, we said Trump being the president. This was recorded. That I did that,
way back.
7 years, 6 years ago?
Yeah. You know what's really funny?
What's that?
I actually said not long after he was, the presidency changed from, him to Biden.
Yeah.
I told my wife, I was like, $20 says he gets to be our president again. I'm like, I got $20.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
I said, he's either going to end up being president from prison, which will be cool. I mean, in every awful sense of the way, I said,
right.
Or he just is going to end up being president, but he'll be president before he's in prison. My wife's like, thank you. I was like, yeah. So as the election was coming back around, she's like, hot damn, you're going to be right. And I'm like, I
hate being right. I hate being right.
I hate being right.
I hate being right.
I hate being right.
That's the problem, right? It's like you don't want to be right sometimes, but you know you're right. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So what do you have for What the F, Florida Man, Jay?
Speaking of
yes,
people with too much money and not enough sense, if you will.
Nice. I like that.
Florida owner crashes his Ford GT because he's unfamiliar with manual transmission.
No. Wouldn't you want to be familiar with manual transmission before you fuck with the Ford GT? Like, I'm just
and it's
saying.
not just William. It's not just a Ford GT. One
of those fucking concept cars, Ford GT.
It is a 2006 Heritage Ford GT. So it was built to the Ford GT race specs that beat Ferrari in the Le Mans back in the 60s, right?
Right.
And it's got that like Gulf blue with like the orange. And you can, I'm sure, as you edit later, you can throw up a picture of it. Because you have to see how he destroyed this gorgeous piece of machine.
I hate people like that. But go ahead, Jay.
Let me explain.
Please.
A Ford GT owner in Boca Raton, Florida.
Asshole.
Crashed his recently purchased supercar into a tree Friday evening because he was unfamiliar with how to drive stick.
Fucking dildo.
The driver, 50-year-old Robert J. Garnari, and I ruined that name, I'm sure, told cops he lost control while downshifting after leaving his housing development after 6 p.m. And that's what led to a head-on collision with a palm tree.
What an idiot. Like,
Garnari then told a nearby security worker that he didn't have his phone and he needed to ride back to his house where he could speak to the authorities from a landline.
I was suspecting this guy was maybe drunk or under the influence of something.
Didn't have his phone.
Right. Who the fuck doesn't have their phone on them?
Who doesn't have their phone on?
Fucking crackhead.
when driving a $700,000 car.
A rich crackhead. A rich meth head. I'm sorry.
The owner told him that it was he claimed that it was old tires, muddy pavement, and fresh
bullshit. Bullshit. I'm calling 100% bullshit. Jay, you know more about cars than I do. Fucking that's bullshit. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying right now, Jay. That's bullshit.
Bullshit.
Exactly.
No.
And you know more about cars than I do. That's bullshit.
Bullshit. Yeah. Here's what happened.
There you go. Okay. Motherfucker took he got high on some fucking weed that he got from California, or maybe did some fucking mushrooms and peeled out, and then got lost control of the car and crashed into the tree.
Well, his argument was he wanted to make sure that people didn't think he was doing to make sure that everybody knew that he was downshifting, because he didn't want people to think that he was doing 90 in a 35.
Sure. Downshifting. Okay. I've never heard of downshifting ever being a cause of an accident.
No, it's not. That's not when your car
it's usually upshifting.
That's usually when the car kicks. Yes.
Right. It's usually when you're going faster.
When you're adding
more. Right. Yeah. Not decreasing.
When you lose it. It's when you downshift, the car settles. Now, you downshift too excessively and you'll blow your transmission, and then you have a totally different problem.
That's a different thing, but yes, that happens. But yeah, I am betting my money on more that he got fucking high and fucking crashed his car into a fucking palm tree because he didn't know what he was doing.
I'm thinking some prescription pills. 50-year-old Mboka.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I'm thinking some pills and some liquor.
Yeah, so a little Jack and Oxycontin. There you go.
And then he got in his $700,000 car he bought at Barrett Jackson a month ago, literally. And he was gonna,
Jay,
go show.
You and I would love to have the opportunity to just spend $700,000 on a car at Barrett Jackson. No, I mean, come on, no.
Bruh.
And there are just people out there that just take this shit for granted and just do shit like this. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know, man. People are dumb.
Yeah, people are dumb. Well, anyways, Jay, that's a fucking great story, but sad as well. From Florida. What that Florida man?
But just to let you guys know, right?
That happens all the time here.
It's not a myth about Florida drivers. That's the truth, and that's what happens. They don't just wreck. They don't wreck just shit. They wreck $700,000 memorabilia cars.
Yes, yeah, and it's no big deal for them. It's like whatever. No. Next week it's another one. It's no big deal.
They call the cops from their landline.
Right, their landline. I got to make sure to get to a landline. Jay, make sure you get me to a fucking landline, okay, Jay? Please.
I couldn't even tell you last time I used
What the fuck is that about? Get me to a landline, Jay.
Boomer.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, boomer. Yeah. What did you say? He's 50 what? Something year old? Give me a fucking
I think it said 56, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, Jay, again, thanks for the what the F Florida man. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Now that happened back in 2022, by the way. This is an old story.
But still, 2-3 years separated. It's not much difference. And we still see this shit happening all the time here.
All the time.
But anyways, Jay, thanks so much for what the F Florida man. We're going to get into our main topic here, which is
the back door.
Rooms. No, not the back door, the back rooms. No, we're not talking about that, Jay. Jesus Christ. But we're going to be talking about the back rooms. And it's a pretty interesting theory. We'll be talking about that and so much more on not what the F Florida man, but
we just finished that on Dark Fringe Radio.
Yeah. Pretty good, Jay. Look at it. Look. My boy comes in the clutch.
As if I went to school for this shit.
There we go. Dark Fringe Radio. We'll be right back on Dark Fringe Radio.
Dark Fringe Radio, your premier source for the paranormal, conspiracy theory and true crime.
Thanks everybody for welcome back to Dark Fringe Radio. Jay, This has been an
Dude,
interesting night. Yeah.
It's been a good one.
It's been a good
This
one.
has been a good one for you. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's been interesting.
You are a silver-tongued devil, sir.
Yeah, something like that. But
Smooth as the other side of the pillow.
yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see. But we're going to be talking about the backrooms tonight here, Jay. And this is a really interesting theory. It actually emanated from a creepypasta and internet mystery that originated back in 2019, back on a 4chan board, which everybody knows about 4chan. It's a concept that describes a vast, seemingly infinite labyrinth of just like nothingness, yellowish, damp rooms that exist outside the norm of reality. And these rooms are characterized by, just different things here, Jay. And usually they're yellow, moldy with like wallpaper. They're all just like the same color, often stained and peeling, damp, musty, carpet, same kind of like, nasty environment that you would expect in this kind of thing. Buzzing fluorescent lights. This is another thing
So
they talk
70s.
about. Yeah, so the super 70s, super 80s, and just
But
unending,
never clean.
and just unending hallways. Could you imagine something like that, Jay? I mean, you just keep going and going and going and going.
I can.
And going.
I can.
Right.
Do you remember that hallway? I mean, the house I grew up in had that hallway from the living room to the bedroom.
All the way to the back, right?
Didn't seem like it was that long until you're having a nightmare where Freddy Krueger is chasing you, and then suddenly that some bitch is miles long.
Funny enough, we're going to be talking about a little bit about Freddy Krueger, but not
because of course
not about him, but about the atmosphere. Because another one of these common threads, as they say, Jay, in this supposed thing is that one of the levels is like as of like an industrial area where it's just pipes and everything. Very, very, very similar to like what you would think of in Nightmare on Elm Street when you think about
Like
him
the boiler
in room. The boiler room, exactly. Very, very, very similar to that, and we're going to be talking about that and much more. But so the backrooms, Jay, supposedly exist in the alternate dimension that one can accidentally, basically, they call nose clip or no clip. Basically, you fall into this other dimension by accident. You slip into it, and it's actually an interesting theory because it's a theory that I actually believe that happens in state parks. Remember when we had that state park video, that episode that we did about people disappearing in state parks and things that happen in state parks. So So I told you about my theory about how I think that there are portals that people just slip into that they can't see.
Yeah.
And so that's why they get lost. And all of a sudden they end up like 5 miles down the road and they've only really traveled, maybe 10, 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So again, that kind of leads in back into what I'm talking about here, into the back rooms where these, people end up in these rooms, these back rooms, by accident. You know what I mean? They just slip in.
Like the way we found all those secret rooms in Super Mario Brothers.
Exactly, Jay. So the no clipping is a term it's borrowed from the video game world, describing when a player just passes through a solid object that falls out of a map and it goes out of the spectrum of what the normal area is, and it inadvertently enters in unintended space. And in this context, correct. And then in this context, it means that it's breaking the boundaries of reality and slipping into the backrooms. So this is where it gets interesting here, Jay. There's levels to the backrooms, supposedly.
Always,
right? One would think. So over time, the myth has expanded into a complex multiverse, Jay, of levels that where there's entities that are give the backrooms levels a deeper lore, because as you get deeper, you start seeing different things, supposedly. So,
as one would assume,
right? So let's talk about the levels. So supposedly this is all documented somehow. But level 0 is called the lobby, which is the original backroom.
Well, somebody's got to get out to talk about it.
Right? Somebody's got to get out, right? So the level 0 is the lobby, which is the original backroom. It's the iconic starting point where it's the damp carpet, yellow walls, buzzing lights, like we talked about earlier. Also the vast and seemingly infinite, hallways. This is also a sense of paranoia and hopelessness. And those who enter level 0 often report feelings of being watched, though there's no tangible entities that are seen at first, supposedly. So there's no reason for you to feel that way. So to go furthermore, Jay, going to level 1, the habitable zone, which is a more industrial place, filled with concrete, dimly lit corridors and large storage rooms. Less claustrophobic, but still feels endless. This level is slightly safer, but induces entities. So this is where we start getting into the entity phase. Entities such as hounds, which are supposedly dog-like humanoid creatures, and then facelings, which are humanoids with faceless features that appear here in this particular level. Now we're getting further deeper into this labyrinth, but we're getting to level 2, which is called pipe dreams. And it's an extensive network of claustrophobic, boiling hot maintenance tunnels with exposed pipes. This is what I was talking about earlier, Jay, the boiler room.
Awesome.
Awesome. Danger increases as more hostile entities appear, making it almost impossible to escape. So that's level 2. Level 3 is Beyond, which is called Expanding the Mythos. There are hundreds of unofficially recognized levels and escalate into danger and complexity. But level 3 includes a nightmarish environment such as endless office buildings and decaying malls, flooded basements, and even cosmic voids. So some levels often offer a similar communities of survivors, supposedly, who have learned to adapt to the back rooms. So this is where you start to see some of the other people that have kind of like survived, the first, 3 levels of this whole thing, supposedly, right?
Somebody's got to survive till.
So far, Jay, what do you think? I mean, it's pretty interesting, no?
Sure. I mean, well, it's okay. For theory's sake, right? Let's have a little fun with it. Let's do a little thought experiment, right? Let's expand out. Okay. Because we did the episode, we'll tie it back. We'll do a little callback from way back when, like you did.
Okay.
From the parks episode where we talked about
state parks.
So, and if you remember, my theory on that was that there are beings that can access a 4th dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Those beings are the ones in which go through those back rooms, which is a reason why the back rooms have the looks in which they do, because they serve some other kind of framework purpose if they are actually there, because they are part of whatever that 4th dimension is. It's something that we can't perceive or are not supposed to be able to perceive, but accidents happen. Nothing's perfect. So, somebody falls into a weird boiler room hell. Should have paid your taxes, Karen. So, recently I heard that there was a possibility of like a black hole shift. There might be a possibility that our reality is completely in a black hole. Now, I'm not saying I necessarily believe that there was a weird reality switch come COVID-ish time. But I'm just saying that things have always seemed different after that. And honestly, a little before.
Oh, yeah. There was definitely a difference before and after. Absolutely. 100%.
There's a line
100%
of delineation for me personally. So it's open for conversation that if we are in a galaxy that is currently spinning within a black hole in which warps reality, doesn't that only make sense then that there'd be a 4th dimension that other beings that are a step above us can access in and out, and that as things are getting wonkier and wonkier, which I think we can all agree they're getting wonkier and wonkier.
It's not getting any better, I can tell you that,
I'm sorry. We're South Florida. It's 50 degrees in spring.
Yeah, what's going on?
Kids are on spring break, and it's cold as hell.
Yeah.
Things ain't making sense. So, I mean, what do I think about it? I think I'm not smart enough to say it's totally not real, but
right.
I'm
knows?
just happy I haven't fallen in one.
Yeah,
for
me
sure.
too. Well, listen, let's talk about some of the entities in these supposed backrooms, Jay, which I thought was pretty interesting. Which sounds like right out of the fucking like horror novel, like Stephen King. But first are the hounds. They're aggressive dog-like creatures with humanoid features. Then you like we talked about earlier, the facelings, the humanoid entities with smooth, featureless faces. Some are neutral.
That would be the one.
Could
that
you
would get me.
imagine? That would
That would
get
be the
you,
one that would
Jay?
get me, man.
Oh fuck! Right, you just
Right?
shit piss yourself right there, right?
That would be the.
Tell me the truth.
Do you remember the movie Last Starfighter? Right.
Oh yeah. The Last
Great
Starfighter.
flick.
Yeah.
But do you remember that part when the old man is dying and he wipes his face like that and he turns and like his face is like there's nothing there?
Oh
like, it's all on the napkin.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I always had to turn away or fast forward past that part because it freaks me out every single time he does this and his face comes off and I'm out.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Yeah.
No. Give me the weird dog things.
Right. Those you could fight. Yeah, you know how to. Yeah, at least right. Yeah, you know what to do. Yeah. Well, another one, Jay. The facelings. Yeah, that's fucking horrible. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. Well, there's also the Smiler, which is a malevolent entity with glowing, toothy grin lurking in the distance. So that's always nice. And then you have the party goers. This is interesting, Jay, because I wouldn't think this would be something that would be a thing, but sadistic entities that lure victims with promises of safety only to convert them into one of their own. That's interesting. I was like, that's fucking pretty smart, right?
You can't trust anything like that, brother.
Ooh, that's deep, right, Jay? Hey, let me take you over here to safety. You're okay. I got you, bro. Come on. Let's go over here. I got you. Come on. Yeah. You're fucked. You're fucking. Oh my god. So, how do you get into the backrooms, Jay? So, it's a good question. Everybody wants to know.
Takes dinner and a movie first,
right? But the act of no clipping, Jay, is into the backrooms is usually described as happening when you move too quickly through a specific area and a phase in reality. So, some say that you lose awareness of your surroundings or mentally disassociate. Some believe moments of extreme deja vu or entering in abandoned places that may trigger non-clipping or no clipping. Once inside, escape is considered nearly impossible, though some claim that a theoretical exit exists through certain unstable walls or voids. So, again, Jay, we're talking about something that's like, remember The Cube, the movie The Cube?
I do.
Right? Remember how fucked up that movie was? That's what this sounds like, right?
It does kind of sound like that,
right?
It does,
right?
And that was kind of what I keep flashing in my mind. Is I just kind of see people like running around in mazes that they don't understand.
Trying, yeah, and they can't. Everything is just no,
awful,
bad, no bueno,
no bueno, no bueno,
no bueno. Right? Yeah,
bueno, I'm out.
Yeah. So let's talk about a couple theories real quick, Jay, about some of the interpretations of the backrooms. So there's one supposed theory, Jay, that the CIA is behind the backrooms. This is interesting. So the theory is the CIA, right? Well, the theory is the CIA is surrounding the backrooms suggests that these endless, unsettling spaces may be the result of a classified government experiments that are done in interdimensional manipulation and psychological control. According to this theory, the backrooms are not merely an internet myth, but rather a manifestation of the secret CIA project that experimented with mind control, simulated reality, and alternate dimensions. And the theory blends elements of real-world government operations, speculative science, and conspiracy narratives to explain the eerie nature of the backrooms. So, Jay, they're saying basically that the CIA put this out there as a thing when it's really a thing.
Okay.
Posing not to be a thing.
So let's add some Arkham Razor here, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe these survivors that have gotten out of these
back rooms.
In reality, out of their back rooms, in reality, maybe what it was they were being drugged and going through these And this is what they kind of remember are these rooms that are kind of yellow and smelly because they're half comatose as they're being taken through things, experimented through things. So in reality, it's not necessarily a glitch in reality, but what happened is you happen to maybe bump into someone or walk past someone or somewhere along the line, you end up unconscious for some reason. And the next thing you know, you're being chased through this weird boiler room.
Well, one of the key concepts, Jay, of the CIA theory is one of the first ones I would say is the MK Ultra and mind control experience. And we just talked about that, Jay. You just mentioned that. One of the foundational links between the Backrooms and the CIA is Project MK Ultra, a covert program conducted by the CIA from the 1950s all the way to the 1970s. The goal of MK Ultra was to explore the potential. Supposedly, yeah, I'm sure it's still going. Potential for mind control, sensory deprivation, and psychological manipulation using psychedelic drugs, hypnosis, and experimental techniques. The connection to the backrooms. What does this whole theory have the connection to the backroom, right, Jay? We're talking about MK Ultra. The backrooms may be a mental construct induced by the CIA mind control experiments. Participants subjected to this extreme sensory deprivation or hallucinogenic experiments may have non-clipped or no-clipped into a mental space resembling the back rooms. So they're basically saying that they got these people to fucking trip out to the point where they put themselves in this area. Another theory is that the looping environment of the back rooms mirrors the effects of sensory isolation and psychological torture, which were key aspects of the MK Ultra techniques. So there you go, Jay. Again, what we're talking about. How do they use this? You're right. What are they using this for? How can they get information out of you? How can they isolate certain things in your brain? Which is really interesting, right, Jay? I mean, when you really think about it, and it's interesting that you think that this really happened because it's fucking documented. This is stuff that's really documented. This is not hearsay. This is stuff that's out there.
This is proven.
It's proven, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like MK Ultra was a thing, or
it was a thing. Yeah.
Was a thing,
still is a thing, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that would be honestly, that would be more my bet would be not necessarily. In full disclosure, I do believe that there are beings on, and I believe that there's another reality that we can't access because I don't think our species is meant to, or maybe we haven't evolved to that position yet. Who knows? I'm just one man. But if I had to put my money on it, I would bet money. I would bet money that these people have had these experiences that were drug induced, but the drug inducement was not recreational and it wasn't necessarily on their behest. It was done experimental to see what it does to plain Jane population. And these people having flashes of things that the brain is a funny thing, man.
Well, listen, there's an unclassified document already that's called, if you look into it, you guys could Google it. It's called Project Midnight Climax, where they would get these Johns to come in Las Vegas, and they would fucking put the room full of LSD or whatever the fuck, and then, have these hookers go in there, and then it was a completely fucking shit show. Like, things would happen. They were thinking all these things. They were hallucinating. Yeah, these are real things. If you look into it, it's documented. We're not saying this as conspiracy theorists. This is stuff that is out there. It's not that it's a contrived or conjecture. But another one, Jay, that they mention is Project Looking Glass, which is a time-dimensional manipulation. So that's also rumored as a top secret CIA program allegedly designed to study and manipulate space-time and dimensional portals. So this project is said to have explored ways to view alternative timelines, manipulate reality by harnessing, exotic technology. So the connection to the backrooms, of course, of that is that the backrooms could be a pocket dimension or alternate reality. That's the bridge of all this stuff for that. So it would be a perfect, I would say a construct, as they would say, for that theory. You know what I mean? So
possible,
right? You never know.
Possible.
Yeah.
And stainless steel panels are still coming off Cybertrucks. So,
Did you hear that? That's crazy, right? That's fucking wild, right?
only
You just
off
have
all of them.
fucking panels just fucking ripping off of the fucking vehicle. Could you imagine?
On those cars, yes, I can.
Yeah, on those cars, of course. Yeah, it looks like a fucking car that a kid would make on a fucking crayon. But nonetheless,
Right.
again,
back to the point.
Yeah,
It could be that. Sure.
it could be that. Yeah,
Sure. I think that's probably the least of the
top of the list of possibilities.
Yeah, I think that one's a little. Maybe we're stretched a little bit on that one.
Well, okay. How about this one, Jay? Another one that they mentioned is the Montauk Project, which is a dimensional portal theory. Which the Montauk Project was another theory tied to the CIA and government agencies, suggesting that the top secret experiments were conducted at Montauk Air Force Base in New York during the 70s and 80s. Allegedly, these experiments were focused on psychic abilities and telekinesis, time travel, and interdimensional portals, mind control and psychological warfare. Basically, what you saw on Stranger Things is what we're talking about there. So, how does this have a connection to the backroom? Backroom may be a result of the rift and the space time created by the Montauk's dimensional experiments. So, they're saying that this may be a byproduct of this from the experiments. They're kind of like how CERN. They say that CERN had like a lot of problems and issues, and CERN is responsible for a lot of the things that we see now. So the Montauk Project, Jay. I mean, it's interesting that they mentioned that. Another one is the Gateway process and the astral projection thing. It's a declassified CIA program that explored the use of brainwave synchronization to influence altered states of consciousness. And the goal was to allow individuals to transcend physical space and time, achieving out-of-body experiences, or even accessing higher dimensions. Now, I talk about fucking astral traveling all the time. I really do believe in it. It is a thing. That's interesting because that could be a thing. I don't know. That would be interesting how that would be connected to the back rooms. Because I'm sure it'd be like, if you're hypothetically astral traveling, if you're in a sleep state and you're going on to different dimensions, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that you could be a victim to going into a back door, right? Or a back room or something like that, where you're in a different, reality or dimension, right?
If when you do astral traveling, when you go on your astral walkabout, you have that ability to be open and receptive to other wavelengths, right?
Frequencies, right?
Frequencies, so on and so forth,
right?
Sure, there could be maybe a connection to it. It's possible. But again, if the government's involved, my guess is what they did was they took a whole bunch of people who said that they felt like they had psychic ability. They're like, we're going to pump you full of LSD and see what that does. Telekinesis.
Let's see what happens now.
Yeah, men who stare at goats and such.
Yeah. That's a great movie, by the way.
It is.
Yeah.
So, but friends, you never need to watch it. But as someone who we said at the very opening of the show, there is a third eye that I apparently have that I never asked for damn sure.
Well, we don't ask for it, Jay. It just happens.
Kind of my point, William.
Yeah.
Kind of my point.
Yeah,
so
weird,
I don't have that kind of ability. I don't go astral traveling. If I'm in a sleep state,
I have done it a handful of times. I will say that
it's either all black or it's just me and FK getting at it.
FK, fucking you and FK. Oh, Jesus Christ, Jay. I got your back, bro. I'll come in there and fucking start helping you out, bro.
Okay, hey, I haven't lost.
Stuck with that figure four. Now you talking about the figure four. We'll talk about that figure four.
I haven't lost yet. It's all in the wrist control. That's where it messes up. You got to be able to control the wrists.
The wrist control.
I'm good at wrist control. Okay. And Saul's
Is that your back room, Jay? You fighting him all the time in your dream? Is that your back room?
the
Could
only
that be it? Ooh,
seems to
that's a
be the
good
only time I dream anymore.
right?
So
Is
I'm
that
really
your back
stressed,
room
things are
though?
bad, and that's what happens to me.
But you feel like when you come out of that dream, Joe, though, Jay, like I
I've
don't
never
mean
been actual
let me stop. I don't mean to poke fun at this. I'm
No.
not
I'm not.
by
I
no
don't think
means,
that's so fun.
and I'm not because I'm being 100% serious. But I
I'm with you.
know when you come out of that dream, you are fucking
Sweating.
you're sweating, right? Your
I've been
body's ready.
bruised.
You right?
I've been bruised.
You've been bruised, right?
I have come out damaged.
So you've come out with fucking wounds.
Yeah.
That's wild, Jay.
I know, William. I know.
That's fucking wild, man.
I know.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy because you know what? Again, you were probably astral traveling, you may be doing whatever, and you get injured in that other world, you come back with that injury. You know what I mean? They say when you get lost out there, when you go out there, you get lost. You don't come back over here either. You know what I'm saying?
That's possible. Again,
you know what I'm saying?
Here's what I can tell you about those. Like
that's why I get scared about astral traveling. Like I said, I've done it a handful of times. I can concentrate on a person long enough. You give me a long enough time, give me like 2-3 hours, I'll fucking concentrate on that person right before I fall asleep for 2 or 3 hours. And I fucking swear to you, I will visit you in your goddamn dream.
Now, I do believe that because only other times I will have other dreams is when I will I'll have conversations with my grandmother.
Got you. So it's like profound experiences.
We'll sit at her table and I can smell the cigarettes.
Yeah.
And her and I have a conversation. So in redirecting in that thought, Yeah. Because those are connections you feel that you can't explain. It's not a mental thing. There are differences between dreams that are just dreams that are crazy and weird, and then there are things you feel. And maybe on those times when you feel you are doing something along those lines, you are going more.
You're actually living through it.
Possible, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just in a different dimension, a different timeline, a different multiverse. You're just going through it at that time. You're not maybe going through it here, but you're going through it there, and you're feeling it at that time. So, it's really weird, Jake. Talking about it because it's again, as you get older, you become a little bit more wiser. You become a little bit more in tune with your body and your mind and things of that nature. So it's interesting as we get older that we kind of become more in tune with it, and it's interesting. So, but I think it's a good wrap up for tonight, Jay. Talking about the back rooms, again, it's a great, mythos, as they would say. Interesting. I think I could see something. You know what? Out of all the things that are out there, Jay, although things that are bullshit, that are out there, Bigfoot and all that, I would believe more in the back rooms than I would believe in all that shit, right?
Yeah, Bigfoot.
Wouldn't you?
Bullshit.
But no, do you feel me on that?
Well, I'm certainly more open to the beliefs that there are these back rooms that are somehow connected, and we don't understand them or how to access them. For sure, certainly more than I believe that there's some big hairy motherfucker out there in the northwest, the woods.
The Pacific Northwest. Yeah.
Well,
a good wrap up here for that, Jay, tonight. Again, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. That's a good one for tonight. Talking about the back rooms. Interesting topic. Very interesting. Again, I wanted to remind everybody how they can listen to the podcast, Jay. Very important. Again, darkfringeradio.com. Make sure you go there, check us out there. And of course, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to all our stuff there. And of course, TikTok and all the rest of our social media platforms. And that's it for me, Jay, tonight. Anything you want to add before we say goodnight?
Friends, remember the world is a crazy place out there. The only thing you control is how you treat other people. So if we treat everybody just a little nicer, maybe.
Yeah.
But
maybe
sometimes motherfuckers need to be hitting the throat too. So keep that in mind also.
And don't slip into a back room. Yeah. Don't slip into a back room. because God save you on that one. That's not going to be a good one.
But
But yeah, it's not good. But again, Jay, that's a good wrap up for tonight. Wanted to say thank you to everybody again for the support on the social media side. Again, you guys are blowing us up on the Facebook, so we appreciate it. That's it for tonight. Again, Jay, we'll see you guys again next week on another edition of Dark Fringe Radio.
Fringe Radio.